Hello, in this video we'll show you how to replace the timing belt on Ford Mondeo Mk4 with the 1.6TI-VCT engine. The timing belt on this car is located on the side of the engine. You can see it's right there just behind this timing belt cover. The water pump on this engine is not run by the timing belt, it's run by the serpentine belt. That's the water pump right there. But in order to remove and replace the water pump, you need to remove the tensioner on the timing belt. Here I'll show you a view of the serpentine belt from underneath. First we're going to start to removing the serpentine belt. To make it easier to remove the serpentine belt, first we're going to remove this wheel, round hand wheel, and also the wheel arch liner. If the video is useful, please like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Next we're going to remove the serpentine belt on this engine. There is no serpentine belt tensioner, so we're going to use a ratchet and socket size 18. This belt is elastic, so in order to remove the belt, we're going to put the ratchet onto the crankshaft pulley bolt, and we're going to use a pry bar to just pry out the serpentine belt. So now while we're pulling out the serpentine belt, we're going to turn the crankshaft pulley clockwise, and you can see the serpentine belt is coming out. And that's the serpentine belt removed. Next we need to remove the alternator. The alternator is held by 3 bolts, 2 bolts on the top and 1 bolt on one bolt down there. 3 bolts, so we need to remove those 3 bolts. Once we remove the 3 bolts, so we're not going to take out the alternator, we're just going to put it to the side, and we'll continue on. Next we're going to take out the coolant tank and just put it to the side. Don't disconnect any hoses, coolant lines, just disconnect it, remove it from its place and put it to the side. Next, we're going to remove the right engine mount. This is the right engine mount right there. The engine mount is held by 4 bolts. We're going to remove them 4. Before removing them, we're going to put a jack underneath the engine. Just put the jack on the oil pan, and then you can remove the 3 bolts. And that's the right engine mount out. Next, we're going to remove the timing belt cover. In order to remove the timing belt cover, these are the bolts that we need to remove. There is 5 or 6 bolts on top and the bottom. There is also some bolts for the timing belt cover behind this water pump pulley. So in order to remove those bolts, first we're going to remove the water pump pulley. This is the pulley holder that I'm using so that I can loosen the 4 bolts on the water pump pulley. Once I loosen the bolts, I'm going to remove them and take out the pulley. And that's the water pump pulley out. Next, we're going to remove the rest of the bolts for the timing belt cover. Now that all the bolts for the timing belt cover are removed, we're going to take out the cover. Next, we need to remove the engine mount support, which is right there. The engine mount support is held by 4 bolts. There is 2 bolts here and 2 bolts on this side. And that's the engine mount support out. Next, I'll show you the timing marks on the two camshaft sprockets. The timing mark on this camshaft sprocket is that dot, and on the other camshaft sprocket is this line. So dot on this camshaft sprocket and a line on the other camshaft sprocket. In order for the engine to be in top dead center on number one cylinder, this line and the dot need to go to 12 o'clock position. First we need to put them in 11 o'clock position, and so that we can install the locking tool for the crankshaft. Now we're going to turn the crankshaft until those two timing marks on the camshaft sprockets go at 11 o'clock position. Now that the timing marks on the two camshaft sprockets are at 11 o'clock position, next we're going to remove this bolt right there, which is a 10mm bolt. This is where we're going to lock the crankshaft. First we're going to remove the bolt, and then I will show you the tool with which we will lock the crankshaft. But in order to lock the crankshaft, make sure the two timing marks on the camshaft sprockets are at 11 o'clock position, both of them, otherwise you won't be able to lock the crankshaft. That's the bolt out. Now we're going to put in the locking tool for the crankshaft. This is the whole timing kit for this engine, and this is the locking tool for the crankshaft, and this thing is the locking tool for the two camshafts. Now I'll show you that my two camshafts, the timing marks on them are at exactly 11 o'clock position. So now that they're at 11 o'clock position, I can install the crankshaft locking tool into the hole and just tighten it. On this engine, the crankshaft sprocket is not keyed to the crankshaft. So in order to replace the timing belt or even only the crankshaft pulley, you need to be following this procedure, otherwise something might happen and you might lose the timing. This is the timing tool for the crankshaft, the locking tool for the crankshaft sprocket. We're going to put it in and turn it clockwise until it tightens. It should go in all the way. Here you can see the locking tool is in all the way. Now that the locking tool is in all the way, I'm going to get my ratchet and turn the crankshaft until the crankshaft stops at this locking tool. When that crankshaft stops at that locking tool, the two camshaft sprockets, the timing marks on them will be at exactly 12 o'clock position. Here you can see the two timing marks are at 12 o'clock position and the crankshaft can't move anymore. So now the engine is at top dead center on number one cylinder. Next I'm going to put the locking tool for the two camshafts. You can see on the locking tool there is the line and the dot, and that's exactly how you install it on the two camshafts. Here is a closer view of how I installed the locking tool on the camshaft. Next I'm going to remove the bolt for the crankshaft pulley. First I lowered the engine a little bit, and now I'm going to use pneumatic gun to remove the crankshaft pulley bolt. This is the best way to remove the bolt. Next I'm going to remove the crankshaft, but we can see that the crankshaft is not moving, so I'm going to use a crankshaft pulley tool In order to use that tool, first I'm going to install the crankshaft pulley bolt again, and then I'm going to use the tool to take out the crankshaft pulley. And here you can see the crankshaft pulley is out. Next we're going to install the crankshaft pulley bolt again and tighten it. Next we're going to install the crankshaft pulley bolt, and we're going to tighten it, and then we're going to turn it all the way if it can turn at all. If it moves, it's going to stop at the locking tool for the crankshaft. If the crankshaft doesn't want to turn anymore, that means it's already touched the locking tool. Next we're going to remove this timing belt lower cover. Before removing the timing belt, first we're going to mark the belt on the two camshaft sprockets. Next, I'll show you in the service manual instructions on how to replace the timing belt on this engine, and also tightening torques for different bolts. Next, we need to loosen the tensioner pulley in order to remove the timing belt. To loosen the tensioner pulley, we need to push the timing belt until the two holes, you can see the two holes align with each other, and then we're going to put a pin through the two holes. This is the pin that we're going to put through the two holes. In order to loosen the belt, first we're going to push the belt, and the two holes will get together, and then we can put this pin through both holes. You can see how I'm pushing the timing belt until the tensioner pulley just turns a little bit, and then we can put the pin through both holes. Now I'll show you what I've done. Here you can see the pin is through both holes. And now we can remove the timing belt. Like I said, the crankshaft sprocket is not keyed to the crankshaft. So when we remove the timing belt, the crankshaft will be rotating freely. And that's the timing belt removed. Next we're going to remove the bolt holding the tensioner pulley and take out the tensioner pulley. Here you can see how I put the pin through bolt holes on the tensioner pulley. And now we have access to the water pump. This is the water pump right there. It's held by all those bolts. We need to remove all them bolts. In order to remove the water pump, first we had to remove the tensioner pulley on the timing belt, because the tensioner pulley on the timing belt is held onto the water pump. So now we're going to start removing all the bolts holding the water pump. Now that all the bolts are removed, we're going to take out the water pump, maybe use a pry bar just to pry it out a little bit, and take out the water pump. That's the water pump out. Now we're going to clean the space where the water pump is sitting, and then we're going to install the new water pump along with the gasket. This is the new water pump, and that's the new gasket that we're putting on. I've lubricated it a little bit with grease before putting it on, and now I'm going to put it on, put on the bolts and tighten them. Next we're going to put the timing belt on. But before putting the timing belt on, first we're going to install the tensioner pulley. The tightening torque for the tensioner pulley is 25 Newton meters. Next, we're going to put the timing belt onto the camshaft sprockets. Make sure you put them exactly where they're marked, and we're going to put them onto the crankshaft as well, and also on the tensioner. When you're putting on the timing belt, when you put it onto the crankshaft sprocket, you'll notice that the crankshaft sprocket is turning, but that is, again, like I said before, that is because the crankshaft sprocket is not keyed to the crankshaft, so it rotates freely. And that's the timing belt on. Here you can see that the timing where I marked the timing belt on the two camshaft sprockets, they're aligned with each other. Next, we're going to remove the pin for the tensioner pulley. To remove the pin for the tensioner pulley, first we're going to push the timing belt and then pull out the pulley, the pin. Once the pin is out, the tensioner will tighten the timing belt automatically. Next, we need to turn the engine to make sure that the timing is done right on the engine. First, we're going to turn the crankshaft to see if it moves at all. If it doesn't move, that means it stopped at the locking tool. Since the crankshaft sprocket is not keyed to the crankshaft, first we're going to mark the crankshaft and the sprocket. We're going to mark them before removing the crankshaft pulley bolt. This way we'll know when we remove the bolt if the crankshaft has turned back a little bit or not. Here you can see I've marked the crankshaft and the crankshaft sprocket. So now I'm going to use pneumatic gun to remove the crankshaft bolt. And we'll check the markings. If the mark has gone a little bit to the left, that means it has moved the crankshaft, but crankshaft hasn't moved because markings are in the exact same position. Now next we're going to put on this timing belt lower cover, and then we're going to put on the crankshaft pulley bolt. The crankshaft pulley and then the crankshaft pulley bolt. Now we're going to tighten the crankshaft bolt. Once the crankshaft bolt is tightened, next we're going to remove the crankshaft locking tool. We're also going to remove the camshaft locking tool as well. Once we remove that locking tool, then we're going to turn the engine, we're going to turn the crankshaft 2 turns until it goes again on at top dead center on number 1 cylinder. We're going to turn the crankshaft again until the 2 timing marks on the camshaft sprockets are at 11 o'clock position. Once they're at 11 o'clock position, then we're going to install the crankshaft locking tool. This is 1 timing mark and this is the other timing mark, and they're at 11 o'clock position. Now we're going to install the crankshaft locking tool, and then we're going to turn the crankshaft until it stops at the crankshaft locking tool. Once the crankshaft stops at the locking tool, the 2 timing marks on the 2 camshafts should be at 12 o'clock position. and once they were to 12 o'clock position, then we can put the timing tool for the two camshaft sprockets. We can see the two timing marks at exactly 12 o'clock position. Now we put on the timing tool. You can see it fits, so that means timing of the engine is done. Now we can remove the two locking tools. Once we remove the locking tool for the crankshaft, we're going to put the bolt back on, and then we're done with replacing the timing belt and water pump. Hopefully the video was helpful. Please like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.